준비 끝 뭐든 가능할 것 같은 기분이야 햇살에 은빛 드레스도 반짝이니까 먼 바다 끝에 다다를 때 누구도 만나지 못한 비밀 우리가 처음으로 알게 되면 어떡해 이 길로 쭉 헤엄쳐가 꿈의 그리던 모습으로 너나 우리와 함께 한다면 내내 강해지지 천천히 부분해 보라도 크니까 찬란하게 세상을 비춰 은하한 우리의 탐차를 나가 너와 둘이 될 길을 기다려왔어 누구 외부 필요 없이도 서로에게 기대 작은 재능으로 자유를 찾아서 끝내 안겨줄 수 있길 너나 우리와 함께 한다면 내내 강해지지 둘이 하나보다는 훨씬 더 세니까 한 마음 중에도 탑붙지 않아 은하한 우리는 더 잘해볼까 One, two, three, and four 함께 한다면 내내 강해지지 천천히 부분해 보라도 크니까 찬란하게 세상을 비춰 은하한 우리의 탐차를 나가
Good evening and welcome back to Keskalokil, a dwarven fortress on the edge of the sea, or like under it as well.
Flashing purple sea or something.
Yes, well that's highlighting that that's a downward slope underwater. Just because like you might think that it wasn't underwater. So it has to alternate the downward slope indicator with the underwater indicator.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. It's quite a long way underwater and we're really not going anywhere near it. So I was just investigating who's in our library, and while some people are just hanging around there, someone else is reading the book we just bought, which is good because it indicates that the book's in the library, which is where I want it to be.
Not, for instance, in the possession of a giant Kia.
For instance, yes, the giant Kias have gone, I think. Have the giant Kias gone? There are some ordinary sized Kias, one of whom is in a cage, and I should not try to train them unless I want my possibly want my game to crash. There is actually a newer release of Dwarf Fortress, but at least the Steam version came with a note saying you probably shouldn't install this, it might lose all your saves. I don't know if that applies to the non-Steam version, but I'm avoiding it anyway. But there don't appear to be any giant Kias kicking around. Yes, I was going to actually look up, or possibly I should look up that after Claire has got back, since Claire wanted to know what the book was about. That's actually about the right size to turn into a little bedroom, isn't it? If we just clear a bit more rock away. And then stick a door in there. So, yes, what has happened recently is mostly... Actually, there are several things. A vast number of immigrants arrived, presumably because they heard just how many goblets we had. Which has meant we've had to deploy... We're trying to deploy bedrooms reasonably quickly in order to give them somewhere to be. Yes. So that's what's going on here. I found a limonite vein and have mined that out, and that's now providing me with some space to construct bedrooms in. I'm kind of constructing my bedrooms rather than mining them in this game, largely because constructed bedrooms are more valuable, in that you can get much more value from a wall made of bricks than you can from a wall made of natural carved stone, and you can now engrave bricks. So it's generally better to, or at least more valuable, to construct your bedroom walls out of, say, porcelain, which is something we've got, well, something we've kind of got lots of, except that I think I need to get some more production going, rather than making them out of, rather than just smoothing the natural walls, though I do appear to have been doing a bit of that as well, because I'm a bit short of porcelain bricks. Down here, I think this is another area I'm mining out with the hope of it turning into bedrooms, because there's a lot more iron ore, magnetite this time down here, and indeed some hematite as well. Magnetite in particular, I think, comes in clusters rather than in veins, so that's particularly good for giving us large open areas, which admittedly might be a better place for like temples and such. We did recently set up a temple because of all these new immigrants. One of the religions said, we think you should set us up a temple, and thus I've cleared out this space, but it isn't valuable enough yet. If we look there, the new one, yes, is the Abbey of Shields, the Temple of the Communion of Jackals, and it's currently only reported at a value of about 700. Last time we said a value of about 1,000, but our appraiser's got better, and he or she, I can't remember, can now accurately assess that it is not as good as we thought. It has got some musical instruments in it now, because we bought some musical instruments from the human traders who came to visit, but we clearly need a bit more there. One possibility is I've now got some platinum ore, as if my native gold wasn't good enough. So possibly I could find, if I can find a decent metal crafter, we could have a decent metal crafter make us a platinum statue or something, or maybe just a gold statue, and that will probably do a pretty decent job. But one of my dwarves has just experienced a strange mood and is down in the glassmaker's workshop making a thing out of, admittedly, green glass, and I think it's some slightly valuable leather. Green glass and some basking shark leather. So I think I might wait and see if that turns out to be something we can install in a temple. Justin votes for a platinum statue of a platypus. We might be able to do that. On which are engraved platitudes, yes. There's some shawl there, that's not very helpful. So, yes, I think I'm going to wait to see what the artifact turns out to be, because if it's a piece of furniture, we might just stick it in that temple. This temple is like also only officially a shrine, I suspect, but no one cares about that one, or at least no one has asked me to make it any better yet. That's the Mirror of Wheels, and it's a high value shrine. It's somewhere around 2,000, but mostly I think because it's huge and has this nice bit of white jade pillar in the middle of it. I think we get a little bit just for all of that floor area, even though it's only worth whatever soil is worth. So right now we're still manufacturing, still manufacturing porcelain jugs in order to feed the next dwarven caravan, which should be along in a bit. Once we've done those, I think I might actually want to have both of those kilns making porcelain bricks for our bedroom decorating. And the other thing we probably want to do is to build up our military, because if the dwarven and human civilizations have heard how good our goblets are, I bet the goblins have heard too. And so they're probably going to be along in a bit, and we only currently have one squad who are only about half full. Or the cobalt tongs, and we should probably fill those up with more people and then and then probably set up some more squads to have essentially all of the dwarves in the military. So actually, let's do a bit of that. Let's at least. Okay, no, the cobalt tongs appears to be full. I wasn't paying adequate attention. Are they adequately equipped then? Doesn't look like it. Let's bonk update equipment to see if it helps. No. So we need still 5 more pairs of gauntlets and 5 more pairs of boots at the very least. Are we currently making gauntlets and boots? No. Right, so that will at least arrange that the squad we already have can be adequately thank you, Verity, equipped. So next, I thought there was a thing I was going to do next. Oh yes, it was to read the scroll, since Seb is at least kind of here. So let's see if we can find the scroll. This is not like reading a scroll in NetHack. It's quite different. So that's going to be am I going to find that in our stocks? Not under scrolls, at least. Maybe under books. No, under tools.
First, you just have to deal with the dwarf's filing system.
Yes, where obviously jugs and large pots and beehives and honeycombs and wheelbarrows are all part of the same category. Possibly and step ladders and scrolls are all part of the same category.
What category is it?
Tools.
I mean, I guess.
So yes, time spent with the city. This is a well-crafted water buffalo parchment scroll. Rollers are made from talc. Well, that's not going to last very long, is it? Written on the item is a guide entitled Time Spent with the City, authorised by Umil Tunemslada. It concerns the town. I was expecting that to read city and then found the wrong letter at the start. The town, Talonglimmered. The writing is stunningly self-indulgent. Overall, the prose is not awful, but not very good either. It's currently being read by one of our dwarves, who doesn't appear to be particularly enjoying it. At least they aren't getting any happy thoughts from it at the moment. Talonglimmered. I wonder if we can find that on the world map. Probably. I mean, that kind of name sounds like it might be a human place. Where are the humans? They're around here, aren't they? Yes. Lock Blunted and Earth Told and Romanced Match. Spoons Handles! The human hamlet of Spoons Handles.
Wow.
Is that spoons handles or spoon sandals?
It's spoons. Well, I mean, it might be spoon shandles, but I think it's spoons handles.
Okay. So I did put a picture, a two Ronnies thing there. No! Sandals for spoon.
Clench chirped.
This is very orange.
Yes, it is.
Cooked. I think Lara was that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is
Site government, the society of tiring. I don't think there is actually a search on here. Like, if you want to find the place, you're going to have to look for it.
So it's not like CK2 or something.
Spikes thundered.
That sounds very dwarven.
Paper treats.
Yes, paper treats. Lung mirror.
Oh, but this is from the
Kistallen, governed by the Ace Band.
Hello. The goths and metals. I don't know.
Puzzle Pumpkin. Anyway,
That's what Gareth is. You're a puzzle pumpkin.
Jaw Brunch. Safe Squids. Can't find the one we were looking for, whose name I've forgotten.
Not twinkle, something like that.
Human Hamlet of Death Pools. Yeah, can't turn it up anywhere. Oh well. So thank you to Jacob for recording some of the odd names that I found, but none of them. Like yes, I'm fairly sure it must, as a city, it must surely be a human settlement, which is why I've been looking around the human ones. Plus, it seemed like a human name, but I can't find it anywhere. Just look up the name again so I can remember it. And remember, books are tools. Talon Glimmered. Right, anyway, that I think is, yes, the only book we currently have, because the giant Kia's got the rest.
Why were the giant kids so attracted to the books?
Because they were valuable and lying around, and they went, aha, we can carry these away. They're shiny. I don't know. Does this suggest that giant Kias have particularly high appraisal skill or something? Better than my broker, anyway.
Maybe you should hire one.
Can you check tame giant kids?
Jutton has found the languages pages on the wiki and noted that that every race has a word for apogee and none of the races has a word for perigee, which is kind of weird. So I think we could just set our miners auto mining at slightly low priority. That section. Pink Bee says, I mean, there's a reason the necromancers buy books from the Kias and not from you. Oh yes, there is a necromancer around. Well, at least I assume a necromancer. They're the people who mostly build towers. So we're here, and down here in amongst the behind the goblins, there is the Dwarven Tower of Vesselplatted, which contains Pulpy Grave, which I believe is some kind of ordinary artifact, and 5 books, of which 3 have the word glory in their title and 2 have the word tower. And I rather suspect that to the resurrection and glory is about the necromancer discovering the secrets of life and death. To the tower and glory is about the tower the necromancer built. Inquiries on the tower is also about the tower the necromancer built, and all of these are probably written by that necromancer. Because, well, have you noticed that much of the writing in this is terribly self-indulgent?
I suppose also the thing here is that this means you now need to be careful about the necromancer raising an undead army and coming to say hello.
Yes, well, no, I was planning to go and say hello to the necromancer and ask if we could have his books, with, like, a rather less undead army.
Some crossbows, this is why you're
Yes. Actually, let's also mark that for mining. Pink Bee says, well, write what you know. Yes, yes, there is an element of that. And all the jugs keep disappearing. I'm slightly concerned that everyone's taking them away to fill with mead, yes, or honey. No, not, yes, you would put honey in jugs rather than mead. And we're going to go end up selling selling like several tons of honey to the next incoming. Yeah, we've got plenty of food. Don't worry about food. Next incoming trade caravan. Yes, one thing I think maybe I want is a guild hall for doctors, so that our doctors can learn from one another. And there's some space here behind the... actually, no, I think we should put it in that gap there. Behind... next to the hospital, because obviously we want the doctors hanging around near the hospital. And let's put a door in there so that the that downward staircase is really part of the right. The human merchants have disappeared, or at least are setting off. Yes, they claim to have departed. What they actually mean is they're packing up all of the stuff we sold them, most of which is goblets. You can see all the goblets there that they're packing up. There's the grumpy child, who is mostly grumpy from having been out in the sun too much. Though this is surely getting better. It's irritated, dwelling upon being nauseated by the sun, became more angry and learned to value stoicism. Was then guilty, dwelling upon being able to rest and recuperate. After getting injured by a Kia, which probably wasn't very happy, but is blissful about the dining room, so that's a good start. Was content after a bath, blissful after sleeping in a bedroom like a personal palace. So yes, I'm kind of hopeful that this child is going to be recoverable, even if they are now anger prone. That now looks like a plausible bedroom. Is it currently marked as a bedroom? Yes. We probably haven't got many more bricks yet, have we? Because that had only just started being a possibility. As in, I'd only, rather no, not the other thing. That I'd only just used up the last ones when I was when I stopped last time. Right, that's quite a lot of native platinum available. A green glass statue of dwarves. She offers it to the Treaty of Caves, which is our local government, I think. Let's have a look at it. Yes, isn't there an items thing somewhere here? Objects, yes. Oh, and 2 people have also brought, or no, those are things we know about. Oh, that's interesting, I think. Anyway, Lichtad Sarek. This is a green glass statue of dwarves. All craftsmanship is of the highest. Craftsdwarfship is of the highest quality. The item is a masterfully designed image of dwarves in green glass by Bomrek Ogba. The dwarves are labouring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Shoot Test by the Treaty of Caves of the Orbs of Yore in the early spring of 100. It is decorated with basking shark leather and encircled with bands of table-cut green glass gems. The object menaces with spikes of green glass. Yes. Right, well, let's stick that statue in the temple in order to make the temple more valuable. I've carefully put it outside the large rectangle that might be being used as a dance floor.
Because it's made of glass.
Well, it would reduce the size of the dance floor as well.
You haven't put it in a doorway or anything stupid. that needs
No,
to be
no.
done.
I should let's get that newly constructed, or rather newly mined bedroom smoothed. Oh yes, I was going to look at planting, wasn't I? Because I think we want to. I think we do not want everyone planting. I think we want to take only our proficient planter and have them do all the planting so that we don't lose all of our seeds.
Is the attrition rate very high?
Essentially, if you don't have a skilled planter, you will tend to get back essentially no more seeds than you planted. If you're trying to grow the kind of things that you get seeds from, and this might be helpful if it weren't for the fact that the major thing I want to grow at the moment is rock nuts, so that I can press them to get oil to make soap from. Right, and we'll stick a bed in that room and door, and then we can declare it to be a bedroom. Possibly we should just have had a staircase down into it instead, but whatever. Happily, the dwarves are quite capable of coping with arbitrarily, well, no, not quite arbitrarily complicated layouts, but they don't care if the layout's irregular.
Dwarven masterworks menace with spikes. Does anyone ever injure themselves on the spikes?
Not as far as I know, no.
They're all just very good about that.
So place a new bedroom there. Haha, the priesthood of the Communion of Jackals is ready to be recognised. As in, I think they want me to assign an actual, priest. We have... Curiously, it's not the Pope's job to...
I suppose in one sense you're kind of a god, aren't you?
I am, yes. Right, so yes, recognise. We have a button that's labelled "Recognise Priesthood." So it looks like now we can appoint the we can appoint a sacred sin for this place.
I want to know.
I don't know. Well, let's go for Bomrek Ogba since they made the statue. Pretty sure sacred sin is a band. Right, well, you've got this temple now. Are you going to use it for anything?
Yeah, so Claire asks, do we have any idea how big the green glass statue is?
Not really. It's like statue sized. It's probably got a weight. So I think we believe that a capital Gamma is about a kilo. So I think it weighs about 150 kilos.
That's a decent thing.
So it's probably a bit smaller, of order the same size as a dwarf, though it has several dwarves in it. Well, there's someone in the temple at least, very briefly. Wonder if we've got enough plaster yet. Right, I was going to turn that into a guild hall, wasn't I? Probably I want to make a door through from the between the what will be the Doctor's Guild Hall and the hospital. In the meantime, a guild hall called the Ancient Truth, because that way, since we hope that we won't get much experience of doctoring, it seems like a good idea if people can discuss it instead. We're probably going to want some more doors. I'm going to assume that we can't do anything with that Kia leg. Probably no decent eating on a Kia leg. So let's see if we've got any porcelain bricks yet. A few. Which is actually enough. Oops. We can, if we add a door, finish walling off that bedroom. Yes, there is a different item type called a figurine, which I think is the kind of thing you might put on a mantelpiece. Oh, too many messages. That one's dull. Goodness, more migrants. The Snarling Hall, a farmers' guild, has been established. I don't know that we have any farmers. Any farming to do, rather.
Are the migrants coming because of your awesome goblet reputation?
Yes,
Oh,
I expect so. So we have... where's the beginning of the line of migrants? Okay, I think some of the migrants have already made it underground, haven't they? Yes.
you might need to set up the job of door ward.
So we have a new adequate beekeeper who has arrived with a husband. A new dyer who is the husband in question. Adequate dyer. I'm not sure we need any dyers. Speechless Mountains, 22-year-old who has no experience at all. Is a competent swords dwarf though. We might have a use for her.
Is for attacking necromancers.
Yes, another dyer.
What is the sort of dwarf fortress approach to immigration?
It happens, and you can only stop it by having so many people that the game will get slower if you allow more. You can send them away again, but if, for instance, you send people out to take over another site, a novice siege engineer and novice gelder, a 17-year-old child who sadly has no skills, disdains competition, slow to love, austere, scatterbrained, sickly and quick to give up. A lie maker, accomplished lie maker, a siege engineer, mechanic, pumped operator, adequate optics engineer. I mean, I think that's one of these things you can't actually do, but you can learn about. I don't think there's an optics engineer useful skill. An adequate appraiser. I think we can do better than that in appraisers. A legendary weaver. Don't really have uses for weavers. And a colony of termites. So that's a fairly small wave after the last one. I'm also quite pleased that we're at 59 dwarves and we're still at a happy 50 FPS. Right, we've smelted some native platinum ore, not that we really need to do anything with it now. And the Snarling Hall requires a guild hall so that they can get better at farming. I'm not sure we really need that, but go on. We've got this spare room down here anyway, next to the farm plot. Actually, maybe we should just select both of them and make them the... I was hoping it was going to be highlighted in a nice colour so I could see it quickly. Yes, okay, we do have 11 members of the Snarling Wasp name. Right, their new guild hall is called the Squid of Roses. It isn't nearly big enough to officially be a guild hall. The colony of termites are not ours, they merely happen to be lying around there. The official count of the small creatures is 528,841.
That mostly bees.
That's entirely bees. Well, we've got this large room full of beehives, and the bees occasionally get out even. So, well, everyone seems to love the meeting place of the doctors, the surgeons' guild hall. Right, yes, that's partly because it's usable by everyone because there isn't actually a guild for it yet. Chilton says, no wonder your bracelet is wonky. Someone's spending all their time keeping track of the exact number of bees. Oh no, that's the job of the bookkeeper. And I have an excellent bookkeeper. No one knows how much the bees are worth. Probably. Can I find the bees? Oh no, we are pretty confident that 19,000 bees are worth about 19 money and weigh 99 kilos, maybe. They seem quite heavy bees.
Maybe they also come in a fraction of beehive.
Right, so I probably want to do some manual mining there, but let's consider what have we got by way of useful metal crafters and how can I so I can do that. So yes, I can totally ask for a platinum statue of a platypus. Now I have to ask, should it be a giant platypus or an ordinary sized platypus? What sex should the platypus be?
I feel that, is it the male ones or the female ones that come with the sting?
We seem to think they all have poison spurs, but that may not be quite correct.
I feel that it should be a female giant platypus.
You want a giant platypus, a huge monster in the shape of a platypus.
Obviously.
Right. How many? One? Yes, I think one is the correct number of those. There's an image of a giant platypus. If I click done there. Oops. Is that now properly set up? But do I suppose now I can go, who is, we have a legendary metal crafter, excellent. Let us temporarily say that only our master metal crafter can, for now, craft things and bump up the priority of the platinum platypus. So that should, I think, now mean that my master metal crafter will attempt to make a platinum statue of a platypus. Maybe. Or maybe they'll make some random bod will make a platinum statue of something completely other. Who knows? But I've got quite a lot of spare platinum. I think we have a shortage of potters because the make clay bricks job is not currently active, and obviously it should always be active.
Why do you need so many clay bricks?
To make decent bedroom walls out of.
That's not disappointing.
So we currently have 2 people assigned to that, but that may not be enough. No one else is any good at pottery, so let's find someone who's good at nothing at all. Right, you're going to learn potting, or possibly pottering, I'm not sure. Let's actually assign 4 people to the job, to the thing for now. 2 novices and 2 others. Right, so let's just check who has assigned themselves to making a platinum statue. Right, it is our legendary metal crafter. Excellent. That's a good start. They've picked up some platinum. I think it takes quite a lot of platinum to make a statue. And some coal, and are now making a platinum statue, possibly of a platypus. Right, at least the make clay bricks job is now active, but someone is lugging clay down from a distant part of the fortress. This is a problem, I think. Dwarves, when they want to make something, will pick up the ingredients from wherever they happen to be and take them to the workshop, which, when the ingredients are very heavy, means they end up spending an awful lot of time slowly hauling the ingredients to the workshop. Maybe I should actually say that my kilns should be set up to take from only the kaolinite stockpile. I mean, it's a rather small stockpile, so I'm a bit worried about that, but if we need to, we can make the stockpile bigger. Right, well, that was a quick statue. How did it turn out? Not very well, frankly. It's a well-crafted statue of a giant platypus. Rendition of the lustrous wires, an image of a giant platypus. The image was commissioned by the Treaty of Caves, a local dwarven government. So, like, hooray, it's not a very good giant platypus statue, but it's a giant platypus statue. Let's stick it in the Farmers Guild Hall.
That'll confuse them. Can I just see the
Oh.
category code go past machines stroke fluids?
Possibly.
Yeah, there it is. Seems like a strange...
So, levers, wells, floodgates, screw pumps, water wheels. When they say fluids, I think it's mostly machines, some of which move fluids.
Yes, no actual fluids in the category. Fair enough.
I think the statue is it being hauled somewhere. Oh, right, we can't do that. We can't make bricks unless we also link the coal stockpile. Yes, thank you. Right, so now my hope is that that will make things a bit more efficient. I should deassign that metal crafter from this forge now so that other people can do some work there. Not that it really matters, they might learn armoury as well, but... Have I accidentally linked the smelter to something it shouldn't be linked to? Oh yes, I've accidentally linked the smelter to the kaolinite stockpile. Let's try doing something more sensible. Let's try linking that kiln to the coal stockpile and the tiny little kaolinite stockpile. It does need people to actually like go off and collect some kaolinite for the stockpile. I think that stockpile might need to... the brewer has been stung by a honeybee, might need 2 wheelbarrows in order to keep up. Oh, the baby's cheered up. Excellent. Thank you for noting that, Claire. Can't remember which one it was now. There's far too many of them. Right, so how are our military doing? Oh my god, it's Cyclops. I don't really feel that dialogue box should have an OK button. The Cyclops, Ingol Okiadasail Alod Kenneth has come. A giant humanoid monster with a single eye set in its forehead. Okay.
Help!
Yes.
Your map there in the centre looks like a giant cyclops with 2 giant antlers in the middle going raw. And let's optimistically say a spear stuck in his thing.
Well, at least they've all got gloves.
I'm not sure that's optimistic for the cyclops.
It would be helpful if on this thing I could see like who had any military competency. Maybe there's a oh no. Not sure I know how to remove people from a squad anyway at the moment. We do kind of have a front door, but I don't think it'll keep a Cyclops out. I mean, maybe we should just pave over the entrance. Right, let us forbid the front floor hatch and that front door. Seeing uninvited guest. 375 years old. Named Ingol Elder Heavens, the Day of Adventuring. Known to have killed 20 creatures, most of them dwarves. Really slow to heal. Somewhat greasy hair is extremely long. He is corpulent. He has an angular chin. His slightly hooked nose is quite long. He has a low voice. His somewhat splayed out free-lobed ears are broad. His eyebrow is somewhat high. His head is tall. His nose bridge is somewhat concave. His aqua eye, singular of course, is slightly rounded. His hair is gold. His skin is cinnamon. I'm not sure whether there is a get everyone indoors thing now. I think that was the civilian alerts, but I can't. I can give these people orders, and I should like probably actually just issue them with an order to station themselves in the entrance. I'm now wondering if we can dig a rapid Cyclops trap near the entrance. I mean, whether it's an actual useful Cyclops trap or just somewhere where we can put a Cyclops and 10 dwarves and expect the dwarves to have some chance of winning. Like if we dug it somewhere where we could arrange to let the river into it, do you think Cyclopses are any good at swimming? Yes, Justin. Burrow is the word you're looking for. We do have burrows. Somewhere. So yes, it does say it can be useful to assign all of your civilians to a safe emergency burrow. I mean, right now all my civilians are indoors anyway, as far as I know. I mean, the animals aren't. So I'm not currently planning to make any serious efforts at getting... I'm just looking at the world and going, do you think Cyclopses are any good at crossing rivers? Because, like, if they're not, the Cyclops is currently on the wrong side of the river. I rather suspect they... And thus their only way through is, like, to come through here. We could probably fix that pretty quickly, as in make it impossible to get through there. But that would involve allowing people out of the fortress, and I've currently banned them from leaving the fortress by blocking the front door. Which seems kind of safer. So my kind of idea here is to dig a hole here and then try to get the Cyclops into it and then flood it.
That's leaving you with two problems, one Cyclops shaped and one full of water.
Yes. I'm slightly confused by could not find path to the hive, because there's I haven't locked the hatch to allow you to get up to the beehives. Oh, unless they're trying to capture another wild honeybee colony, I suppose. If, of course, we cut through... no, we don't want to flood it with water yet. What we want to do is to tempt the Cyclops in there. Which might be a bit fiddly. and then run like hell, and then flood it from the outside, or possibly just keep the Cyclops there if we can do that. Let's just quickly build a stone statue. That we can, well, I mean, we've probably got, I mean, why do we need a statue? Let's plant a table there. If we stick something that the Cyclops can attempt to demolish in the middle of that room. Then that will give them somewhere we can tempt them to. And yeah, I think we want this to be deeper, don't we, actually? Let's go down another level. So where's the Cyclops now? Right, Cyclops has not crossed the river, but has gone round the head of it, which is interesting. And, well, is now going to slaughter basically all of our livestock, it looks like. Let's at least permit the livestock to run away, because that will probably provide some distraction by turning off the pasture. So I have improved my wrestling, says, sorry, I should do a bit more Cyclops voice. I have improved my wrestling, says the Cyclops. That was satisfying. Not so satisfying for the poor goat. Now, an adequate wrestler. Skilled shield user and armour user, which would be brilliant if they had a shield or an armour, or any armour. Oh, there's a dwarf out there, that's bad. You were out trying to find bees, weren't you? Well, I don't think I want to open the door, sadly, because there is only one. I mean, there is a bunch of military dwarves just inside the entrance. So, like, we could send them out to fight the Cyclops, but, like, they're not very experienced. I think we may have to sacrifice a beekeeper. Okay, the beekeeper's doing a pretty good job of dodging, at least. He has bruised her spleen. She has punched him in the eyelid. I mean, I think she is a bit unwell. I'm kind of going, if she can dodge that well, is she now like a spectacular dodger? Probably not. She's only a dabbling dodger. And maybe my 10 lightly armed dwarves might be all right. There are still more of them coming upstairs, admittedly. She has been found dead. Well, I wasn't really expecting anything else. Where are you? You are at least inside the fort where you should be. Good. Right, we've now dug out a nice deep pit. Let's stick a table at the bottom of it, in the hope that that will be something that will be enough to tempt in a cyclops. We still need to install a door to the room. I'm not going to let anyone in, let the cyclops in until there's a door. What's the cyclops up to now, anyway? Chasing animals, excellent. Right, that will keep them distracted for a bit, possibly indefinitely. On my dwarves, my military dwarves now going to go, oh, but I need to get my boots on.
Cold tea, Ben.
Oh, tea. Sorry?
Oh dear, someone has cancelled install bee colony in Hive, which makes sense because the hives are menaced by cyclops, but what are they going to do with this bee colony now?
I think actually they were trying to harvest a wild colony, and that's why they want to go outside the fortress, which they can't because the door's locked. Because if they were only trying to put to move things around, they can actually get up there. I mean, they might get interrupted by cyclops messages as they get scared of the cyclops, but oops. So we now have a room that is at least meant to be tempting to cyclopodes. We don't really want anyone to go out. Can I turn off all beekeeping labours? No, because I don't want anyone going out and trying to get a wild bee colony.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oops. If we say nobody beekeeps. So I hope that will now cause those messages to stop. A giant thrips has given birth to twins. That's nice. I'm sure that'll distract the Cyclops a bit. Baby giant thripses. So then I think we want to mine an upward ramp in the very corner of that, and then build a wall there. And then the problem is, actually what I want to do now is to chain up like some animals that it might kill, because it seems to be going more after animals than after furniture at the moment. So let's try installing a chain in the corner of there. Well, I mean a rope. And then we could see if we could tie up some animal we don't really care about. If we've got any animals we don't really care about. Oh, we've got a spare Kia. We've also got a couple of stray dogs we could use. Or a stray turkey. So Seba asks, is there a reason why you're expecting the Cyclops to want to steal furniture? So Cyclopses are, I think, building destroyers, which means that they will tend to, for instance, knock down doors. But if there aren't any doors to knock down, I think they're quite happy to knock down other furniture. Oh, we should cancel that.
This is like the Doctor Who robot and the cardboard boxes. You put the cardboard boxes
Yes.
in front of the robot. Right, okay.
We should not mine that ramp out yet. We're still setting up the trap. So let us attach a stray turkey to that, because I think the stray turkey is probably inside the building. We could try attaching the Kia to it, I suppose. No, let's put the turkey on there. Take longer for the Cyclops to kill the turkey. So all being well, someone should now pick up that job. Meanwhile, we've probably got enough bricks to make another bedroom, haven't we? Hang on, that's the wrong size. Just stick one in there to fill in that gap. What are doors anyway? Build doors and hatches. BPR. Oh right, we can't put the door in until the wall's actually been built. Right. Right, we don't seem to be getting cancellations of the beekeeping jobs anymore because beekeeping is temporarily disabled. Ooh, what's that? A giant Kia! Some cloth. I think it must be outside because, like, we don't let them in the fortress. We've locked the fortress. But the giant Kias have turned up at a time when we have a Cyclops around.
Well, if they're trapped out there with the Cyclops, then
Yes.
Who's in here with the scroll?
No, I think they've just stolen some of the stuff that was lying around in the trade depot. I'm not quite sure why there is stuff that is lying around in the trade depot, but hey.
Are Kias functioning here like magpies?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Right. Yes, we're trying to find a turkey, aren't we?
Find some of your leftover Bilan goblets. You know, really attractive. The Kia was happy when it stole a masterwork Bilan goblet.
Our scroll is safely on the other side of a door that a Kia can't destroy. Probably. Hush.
oh, you think the Cyclops and the Kia are in league?
Well, the Cyclops does mean we're not going outside to fight the Kia. I would like it if the Kia, if the Kia couldn't get anything because everything was somewhere more sensible. Okay, a child is currently moving our turkey gobbler around. We should probably adjust the what children can do settings, shouldn't we?
This is so the child has an interesting learning environment, but not preferably one where they can easily like stick their fingers in the sockets of life and go fizz and go, oh no, I'm not alive anymore.
Okay, I don't actually appear to be able to turn anything off here. Like clicking on the burial row doesn't do anything. I can merely say they can't do anything or they can do everything. Can I turn on and off individual children? No. All of the clicks appear to end up targeting the wrong object. I can't. Oh, I can't press the children don't do chores button either. Oh well. Someone is trying to get that turkey to. Yeah, there they are. There's the turkey. Right. So we now have a child who is playing make-believe with the turkey. We need more bricks. I should order more bricks. Jefferson says, I think I missed how this pit of tables and turkeys is to be made accessible to the Cyclops. That my plan now is to build an upward ramp around here, then lock that door and then build a wall behind it. Then once the Cyclops is... Oh, no, there's still a problem, isn't there? The Cyclops will then be able to get out again. We're going to need to build a door on this side that we can temporarily lock and then wall over. so that then we can let the river in, which is the ultimate plan here. So actually I can dig this way a bit. While we wait for that child to stop playing with the turkey. Oops, no. I think that was actually, we can't install one there. Oh no, what? Do we actually have no spare doors? Well, someone's meant to be making one very shortly. Were it not for the fact that the entire place is full of children.
Still have tea.
Yes. Giant Kia keep stealing our cloth. We think someone, a goat kid has died, but we're not sure because we just haven't, no one's seen them for a while owing to being stuck indoors. Okay, let's release my military lot temporarily so that they can go and get something to drink. As right now we seem to be reasonably secure in that the I haven't heard from the Cyclops for a while. Presume it's still around. Yes. It's just busy chasing our it leapt across that little pool there. Chasing our animals, and it can't actually outrun them for the most part. It's probably tiring itself out a bit. Okay, it's managed to become tired and seriously injured. Client Cyclops collapses and falls to the ground from overexertion. See, this is a problem. The Cyclops is being so excited by all of these things it could attack. It was also horrified by the death of a beekeeper that it killed. I mean, looks like the beekeeper kind of bruised him. So I'm a bit confused by the way that this Cyclops appears to be injured. His right upper leg is cut open. Yes. This does make me think that once my military lot have all gone and boozed a bit, we might actually be able to hurt this thing, especially if we can wait until its next until it next passes out from exhaustion or whatever. Looks like all of the military types have probably finished drinking, though they may be sleeping now. Child is still playing in the Cyclops pit. Child has stopped playing in the Cyclops pit. Oh, Cyclops has got into a fight again. There's someone carrying the microcline door to be constructed. We're a bit short of booze. Have we got anything we can make it from? Yes. Right, so now we've got a door on that side which we could use to temporarily lock the Cyclops in. Oh, but I bet the door will appear to be under the Cyclops' control if it passes through it, won't it? So I may not be able to lock the door behind the Cyclops. Getting more and more in favour of just going out and hitting it with swords and seeing how we do. Though I suppose we could do that in that pit if plan number 1 doesn't work. Oops. Right, well, I think the Cyclops has just killed another goat. Let's see if we can regather our military now. Have they finished? Organising themselves. Still seem to be short of boots. I don't understand that. Oh well, they've got other things. And we seem to have a decent number of them. What? Now the child's stuck on the far side of the door playing. Stop it. I mean, my hope is that the child will flee adequately quickly if the Cyclops turns up, but... All right, you're now going to store an item in the bin. Right, let us lock that door. Go where it precisely is the Cyclops. It's all the way over there at the moment. Actually, we can't lock that door. We need to mine a hole out through it first. So then attempt to mine an upward ramp there. Right, our miner is now leaving the area. I'm now going to lock that door temporarily while the miner leaves the pit, and then lock that door. Then we want to build a wall behind that door so that there is really no way that a Cyclops can get through there. That'll. Can we find something a bit quicker? Cinnabar is quite heavy. Probably better to use. Well, let's use one of my porcelain bricks for it. So currently the Cyclops is wandering around over here. Someone, yes, has now come up the stairs with some porcelain bricks and bricked in that area. Right. Now we can make that door passable again, which means that the Cyclops has a way of getting at the turkey. Now, whether the turkey is going to be enough to attract them is another matter. Let us now watch the Cyclops. Currently running around in the woods chasing my animals. How about you chase the entirely stationary turkey? Look, it's very close to you now. Giant key has stolen some trousers. It's caught a goat. Well, that's nice. What I want is for it to pass out from exhaustion, but I think that may be. Oh, might not be too much, but it's quite a long way away. I was kind of hoping it would pass out from exhaustion near the main entrance. No, it's not currently exhausted. Okay. Probably. Now, would you like to come and say hello to my nice chained up, easy to access turkey? No, you're going to go chasing my grazing animals. I mean, they're definitely excellent distractions. Well, if you're not going to get distracted by the turkey anytime soon, I may just have to send you some dwarves. Nearly, you're close to the turkey now. Yeah, getting bored with this. And like, I think our Cyclops is persistently tired. Right, I'm going to do this the obviously stupid way before my... Oh, they're getting thirsty again. Yeah, let's send them out. Open the door. Open the hatch, which the Cyclops is gratuitously refusing to get involved with. Get my squad onto the surface. Right. Close the hatch again. And the door. I suppose now, tell the squad to kill the Cyclops. Like, how badly wrong can it go? Let's just say I'm going to be watching this fairly carefully. Where's my squad? Are they still moving? They're moving more or less as one. Good. One of them has got distracted. Have you misplaced the Cyclops? Two of them have got distracted. The rest of them are still trying to work out where the Cyclops is. I mean, I've lost the Cyclops, to be fair. Gareth has just worked something out. Ah, there's the Cyclops. Right, I hope you're all going to get there in time. Yeah, that look. No, stop wandering off. There's a Cyclops to be killed. Right, how's this looking? The Cyclops strikes at the recruit, but the shot is blocked with the maple shield. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? The recruit misses the Cyclops. That's a less good start. Okay. I've allowed a bit more time to pass. Well, that's pretty good. Like, oh, the Cyclops had a quick bit of collapsing to the ground from overexertion. Recovered rather too quickly, sadly, but the recruit hacked at the Cyclops in the right hand with his copper battle axe. Of course, the Cyclops is punching, which chainmail is not very good against. On the other hand, the recruits have axes, which have copper battle axes, which skin isn't very good against. So far, we're winning. Right, let's have a look at the report now. Aha! You know, I bought that Morning Star. Someone likes it. Ah, the Cyclops has passed out from exhaustion. Excellent. Right, I think we're going to win this now. Thank you all my my various grazing animals for wearing the Cyclops out. Right, everyone stood around the Cyclops and battered it to death. As it did nothing because it was so tired from chasing goats. Took quite a bit of killing, but looks like Morning Stars and Battle Axes are good against Cyclopes. Like, those are the things that are fracturing its skull and ultimately after an awful lot of work. That would have been fairly effortful if the Cyclops had been like alive, not alive, awake, feeling a bit fresher than it was. I think a Cyclops is too... Why are you dizzy? Have you been injured? Doesn't look like it. Right, all of them have gone back to being ordinary. Right, now we can unlock the front door and turn on beekeeping again. I mean, that would let the giant Keas in, of course. I'm not sure if we can make a lavish meal of the Cyclops. Jutton says, cannot be butchered. Thank you. We should probably have a place for like throwing away Cyclops corpses. Possibly this convenient pit I've just built. Which was of no use for like capturing anything, but we could fairly quickly turn it into a kind of a rubbish dump of some sort, I expect. Justin says, surely you should save the pit for the next visitor. Yeah, we could do that. Like, we should possibly build a proper drowning chamber of some sort, like one that can be drained again.
I mean, this all seems under-ambitious. Surely if you're going to have a death pit, you should fill it with magma.
Could do. Actually, I'm wondering if we should fill it with traps. Like, if we filled that with weapon traps, and then just lock people in there, or Cyclopes, though they may be able... I didn't do it with traps largely because I suspect the Cyclops could dodge traps. Anyway, I've unlocked the doors, haven't I? Then we should... Yeah, we could do with some... We could do with an actual proper rubbish dump. I think at the moment we just... Yes, we have a garbage dump zone there. Presume that's not the actual Cyclops fighting because they're dead. Yes, we've just discovered the someone that they attacked had died. Oh, we do have one dead beekeeper, of course, who's going to need burying. Let's start setting up a graveyard somewhere. I think we've got enough beekeepers. I think up here seems like a good graveyard. We only have one coffin available, but that's fine. We only have one dead dwarf available as well. Actually, no, let's not put it there. Let's be more sensible and say that the graveyard should be somewhere that doesn't involve lugging the corpse through the whole fortress. Which means probably near the surface, which is where lots of people are going to die. And maybe even with direct surface access, certainly pretty close to direct surface access. Oh, have I got this? Oh no, I've just not turned that on again. So let's just dig out an area of soil here. Bet that's they stood up. I drank water without a well. That's very annoying. Right, let us build then. Oh, autosave, which means the Dwarven caravan will be coming soon. Good job we got rid of the Cyclops before the Dwarven caravan turned up. Do not force quit Dwarf Fortress in the middle of an autosave. That would be a bad idea. Right, that will set up a coffin. Conveniently, the coffin's in a stockpile just outside.
Right. Good night.
Right. And we'll stick a door to the graveyard so that most people don't have to pay attention to it. You must designate a tomb before this coffin will be used for burial. Right. Oh, Snatcher, protect the children. I think we spotted some goblins. Yes, we've spotted 3 goblin thieves. Who are all on the surface somewhere. Pity they arrived after the Cyclops had been dispatched, really. I mean, being thieves, they will probably now clear off now that we've spotted them. Let's just have the cobalt tongs out on the surface. Oh, there they are. As soon as I unpause, it's obvious where the goblins are. So one of them has been killed, I think. Because, well, they turned up near one of my dwarves, who grabbed a battle axe and went, kill. Like, looks like that cave spider silk cloak was pretty good at defending them, mind. But Goblin running away southwards, leaving a trail of blood behind. Ooh, the Dwarven Child got in some trouble. Well, we say that. Dwarven Child attacks the Goblin, bites the Goblin Thief in the right hand, latches on firmly. Dwarven Child is slightly upset by the experience of death in the form of, I think, seeing the other Goblin already killed. Terrified, afraid, horrified, you're going to need some cheering up. Vengeful. Right, I think she saw that Goblin dying. The one that she bit is still alive, but is running away dripping blood. I mean, is that the only person who managed to hit that Goblin? Yes, that trail of blood being left by that Goblin all the way up here, that was caused by this child, I think. This 5-year-old Dwarven child. I think the Goblin might get away, but at the expense of leaving quite a lot of blood behind. The child's chasing it. Yes, sorry, we've got some Goblin snatchers or thieves turning up, and they may have tried to take one of our 5-year-old children, who fought back hard enough that the Goblin is now running away, leaving a trail of blood, being pursued by a child. Child has got bored. Right. Child has got involved in another fight. Child has come upon another Goblin and started punching it. Goblin Thief foolishly attacking the Dwarven Child, who is quite good at dodging. And is not his problem anyway. So we still have at least one Goblin down here. Are you guys going to chase after him? Is he going to get off the map first? Is that the only Goblin we've got left? Yes. Right, let's explicitly tell them, all of our soldiers, to kill the one remaining Goblin. Right, you could go after it. Maybe they have to work out where it is first. Oh, it's coming back. Charge! No, you're going the wrong way. I think there is a bit of the dwarves know where a creature was. Right. All Goblins disposed of. Possible that one of them escaped. So we had 1, 2, 3. 3 appear to have got into fights. Let's just confirm that. We appear to have 3 goblins getting into fights there. And that's the one who was bitten by the dwarven child and who has been killed. So yes. Yes, I mean partly, of course, the goblin was probably trying to steal the child, but yes, the child just bit the goblin so hard that there's this trail of goblin blood all the way down here, left by a bleeding, fleeing goblin. I hope someone will come along and bury our unfortunate beekeeper. Looks like they will, yes. They've managed to find a foot so far. I hope someone will turn up with the rest of the beekeeper soon. Yes, here's someone bringing the rest of the beekeeper. Yes, he's not very happy about that, but someone has to do it. I think we dealt with all of those. I think one of the goblins may have got away. All right, the child was actually out there fetching the dead beekeeper and got interrupted, I think. Tossid, Abelnobber thing. No, that's not what I meant. I wonder what that button does. Let's try that again. Tossid thingamy. You are right. Yes, I want that one. Yes. So she Tossid Abelnonub, 5 years old. Now a dabbling fighter and dabbling biter. Uninjured, but slightly distraught at the experience of going out there and seeing several dying goblins, one of whom she contributed quite substantially to the death of. So yes, hurrah for small dwarven children. Are you now distraught from having seen a passing? No, you aren't. Good. Right. What else is going on? I think she didn't actually see the dead beekeeper, which at least was probably for the best. So how do I get a useful view of my dwarves' military skills? Like, because that tries to fit them all into this tiny little gap. If I create a new squad, the Ageless Inks, Right, that at least will give me something useful. Right, and yes, down there we've got the current members of the Cobalt Tongs. And we can see that they've at least got some skills now, though not much. We probably need to get them actually practicing, but on the other hand, they did pretty well. So let's now attempt to set up a second squad called which will be called the Ageless Inks, which will at least contain everyone who already has some fighting skill. Plus, I think some people with useless skills. Oh, we have a mayor now. Oh yes, we were going to improve our dining room, weren't we? Not that it seems to be too crowded at the moment, but like, it is fairly crowded. So that's some tables put in, or rather scheduled. Now let's see if we can build some chairs to go with them. So the idea here is that each table should be orthogonally adjacent to precisely one chair, and vice versa. Actually, I don't think it matters the other way around. I think the dwarves pick a table and then try to find a chair that's adjacent to the table. So essentially what I'm going for is columns that go table, chair, chair, table, table, chair, except I have to dodge the holes in the floor where the access to the bedrooms goes. Right, so let's try to sort out a sensible rubbish dump. What would be a sensible rubbish dump? I think it wants to have some kind of access to the open air, and be a slightly deep pit. If it's open to the air, then it will probably not produce too much miasma. We kind of want people not to be able to see into it, don't we? Because if you can see into the rubbish dump, then you're likely to see distressing things in there, like dead goblins. I wonder if there's a limit to how far down a dwarf can see. Obviously, if we had some magma, that would solve the problem. What are you doing? Oh, you're fetching some fruit. Also, we've got a bunch of dead animals that we should really butcher. Is anyone butchering them? No. Let's quickly make a stockpile there to contain corpses, but not goblin corpses, not cyclopes corpses, there's our plural, not dwarf corpses. We might have to add other things to the do not store these in here category in due course. Also, I might tend to suspend that one if I can. There isn't a suspend option for a stockpile. That's annoying. Two children playing in the graveyard. Oh, let's make ourselves some more coffins as well, since yes, we should not be complacent about goblin attacks based on that one. Those were thieves and had no armour. Oh, on which subject? I should reclaim it all, though most of it's rubbish. But obviously the okay, all of the goblin parts are all of the non-goblin parts are rotten anyway, so I don't think this is actually going to be a useful stockpile. Yeah, let's delete it before it becomes an embarrassment. As in, causes miasma everywhere. Right, so what would be a sensible design for a rubbish dump? Do we make it like several Z levels deep? Mostly it's going to get stuff we found on the surface that we just want to clear out of the way so people don't keep getting distressed by it. So I think we want it to be quite deep and to have a hatch cover over the top of it, so that mostly you're only going to see into it if you're actually disposing of a thing. And it doesn't actually have to be very wide, and we might want to turn it into an atom smasher in due course. So let's try to accomplish something like that. So if we, where should I put it? Probably wants to be fairly close to that stockpile, big stockpile of stuff, which is where a lot of rubbish is going to end up. Plus, that's our access to the outside world. Let's just dig in there. And then let's go 1 square further and then dig a downward staircase. See, we could dig the downward staircase right next to it, next to where we want to put the hole, couldn't we? Go down to there. and then we'll okay, it looks like it may end up flooding if we let it go that deep. Well, let's go down there and then we can end up dumping everything in the water. No, that was the wrong button. I meant that X, which is not really an X. Because it's only going to be a light aquifer. And then mark that as remove. Where's the remove a... Can I just do that? Yes. Remove that upward ramp, mostly to avoid a thing that flashes between ramp and something else. Now let's put in, do we got a couple of hatch covers available? Got lots of hatch covers available, good. Oh, a caravan has arrived and the Queen Consort has arrived. Right. Well, any highly valuable finished goods bin we probably want to try to sell. Let's move the bins first. Partly because I don't want to accidentally ask to move all of the jugs out of the bins. No, the Queen Consort is also the diplomat who turns up every year. We're not a mountain home yet. Right. Let's ask our broker to come up here. That one should be moved as well, just in case it's useful. So then if we look in tools, that doesn't appear to include any jugs at all. Fairly sure that jugs were tools. Have they all ended up in those bins? I mean, that would be nice. Also, how about you learn about wagons? We can probably build some more tables. I think that's probably enough furniture in the dining room. So now if we lock that one, can we now designate a little garbage dump zone there? It's 2 plus 0. I wonder what that means. I wonder if that will work properly. Well, I suppose only one way to find out. Let's disable the... Let's re-enable, actually, that pasture. Get the animals back somewhere where there's something for them to eat. And disable that garbage dump. And then try to dump that Kia corpse. And see what happens to it. It ends up on top of the hatch cover. So the hatch cover has stopped it falling down the hole. That's not much use. I was hoping they would open the hatch and throw it down there, but no. In that case, let's stick a door there as well. So, let's leave the diplomacy for now until we've done some trading. Because then we'll have a clearer idea of what we might still need. Once, you know, my... dwarves have actually managed to... the dwarves are now all going out and dragging the animals back to the pasture. Right. Our broker is on the way. Right, yes, so there's a bunch of porcelain jugs which, like, should be pretty valuable. We'll buy your steel bars, expensive though they be. Yes, all your jugs come with free honey, incidentally. Quite happily trade you a worn-out loon leather hood and some worn-out troll fur trousers that have probably just come off those incoming goblins. And that sock. And that fairly worn. Now let's keep those gloves for my... Well, no, we'll sell both gloves. Don't really need giant Holton leather gloves. That will cover the wood. You've only brought honeybee venom and donkey's milk and not any, like, booze, you nuisances. And also, why have you brought all of your... Yes, trolls have fur. Why have you brought 3 silver battle axes? Silver is not a good material for making battle axes from. I should actually pay attention to the colour of the trader happiness chart. I really don't need to provide them with that much just for those 2 steel battle axes. Yeah, I suppose the silver battle axes might be mostly ceremonial. We could give our mayor a ceremonial battle axe, I suppose. Mace would be kind of more typical, though. I mean, warhammers are useful at in any material pretty much, but that means I can make my own. Whereas getting some nice steel pointy things is almost certainly good for us. Probably not worth trading the non-porcelain jugs. We may as well trade goblets before those. Oh, lovely quantities of high boots. Excellent. Maybe don't bother with the highly decorated iron ones. But we'll certainly take all your steel ones if we can find enough things to sell you. Which we can. That doesn't seem to have actually searched anything. That's not very helpful. Oh well. I can scroll perfectly well. I mean, that might be a halfway ceremonial mace. Wow, that's an expensive helm. I mean, we'll take it because it's steel, but it's going to cost us a lot of jugs. You don't accidentally sell a hive or a jet jug. Those aren't worth selling. I mean, come to think of it, I don't need any more hives. We may as well sell the hives. I think we've got enough bees. Okay, that's all of our porcelain jugs scheduled for selling, and we haven't got enough to buy that helm yet. Gonna have to sell some more goblets. Yeah, we'll take some steel gauntlets. Others we can make ourselves. Wondering if I could use page up and page down to move through this, but it doesn't look like I can. Right, I think that's most of the armour. I think we've still got an adequacy of cloth and leather. Like, we haven't got round to using what we bought last time. We bought a phenomenal amount of... Do we really need a steel figurine? I don't think so. I was thinking, should our mayor have a crown? But no, mayors don't have crowns. You need to be better than a mayor to get a crown. Tempting to buy a bit of meat, though we're reasonably well off for food, to be honest. What we actually want is things you can brew. And you've brought almost none of those. Well, we'll still buy your cheese because we like cheese. Oh, Exploring the Human. We'll have a copy of Exploring the Human. And we could get an empty codex in order to write something in it at some point. Right, so I don't think there was anything else I spotted in their list that I want. Mostly it now contains goblets. Don't think we need any more dull animals. Don't think we need any honeybee venom or donkey milk. We can totally make our own cages. And like most of these, oh, is it worth getting a steel warhammer? Might be worth having, I suppose. We can always melt the things down. No, they didn't seem to have any seeds at all. I'm going to explicitly ask for rock nuts this time. And maybe like every possible kind of fruit as well. Though they won't have many fruit because the humans are the ones we want to buy fruit from. Leaves and fruit, they have onions. And there don't seem to be any seeds at all. Hope they like honey. I don't quite want to entirely run us out of jugs. I think we need some for our own purposes. Right, I think that will do for now. Merit deserves a reward, and I come empowered to establish this colony as an official land of our realm. Can you imagine the trade wagons? Oh, maybe we'll get wagons. Of course, there are responsibilities, and the nobility must live well. Do you have anyone suitable to recommend for elevation? And I think I might actually now be able to open the citizen information menu and look at people and go, who should be elevated? But who should be elevated? I don't know. I mean, our current mayor is pretty good, frankly. We'll go for our chief medical dwarf instead for a bit of variety. Bomrek Sezuk Endok. Right, make requests, yes. We'll ask for steel bars again, not that I have great use for them, but they... Okay, I think that's now selected. Just send us all the seeds. And all kinds of weapons. Actually, don't bother with the crushing weapons. Or crossbows. And send us mail shirts and helms and gauntlets and high boots. Should I also try to buy in like adequate amounts of ordinary clothing? Don't know. Right, that seems like a reasonable selection of stuff. A need for anvils is expected. Okay. Our mayor has mandated the construction of certain goods. They're getting above themselves. They want weapon racks, but then also as a mayor, they would like all sorts of things in their room. Right, I want to sort out this rubbish dump because it's not working properly. Oh, maybe it is working. Has someone just gone down there? No, but it looks like someone has somehow... Oh, I think I removed the thing, yes, didn't I, Stoat? Yes. Judson points out that if there's a need for anvils anticipated, then perhaps they should actually bring some wagons. What? Okay, there's apparently a cloth bin there that needs to be reclaimed. So now, how do I select the second item on that square? I don't understand that bit. Let's get that mangled skeleton disposed of. And that dead goblin. And that dead goat. And that foot. Again, I want to actually dump both. Well, I actually want to dump everything on that square, so we can at least get that right. That's the bag the goblins brought in order to take children away. Right, that's most of the bits of dead animals lying around, marked for dumping at least. Our rubbish dump. Did someone just come down there? I don't think they're meant to be able to get down there. Our rubbish dump is now gradually flooding and being filled with dead goblins. Right, and we've been made a barony, which means we probably have a baron. Right, next session is going to be sort out all of the things that my newly arrived or newly created baron and what are you doing and why are you wandering over there? You're not going to find much food out there. Sorting out all the things that my newly created barons want. That should fix that donkey. So, let's see if we can build any more walls before we stop. I seem to have, oh yes, I think I got some of my positioning wrong here, didn't I? Well, I've got 18 porcelain bricks in stock, okay. That's still under the sea. Fairly close to the edge of the sea, admittedly. probably means I can actually like install all of that wall. Want to be careful, I'll need some way to get the dwarves out of that section, of course. Let's then build a staircase up from that room to that room out of porcelain bricks. And we're still going to need more walls, but that's a good start. No. And there should be a door there. And then we'll want to sort out those, turning those bedrooms into proper bedrooms. But that will be later. Right, what else have we got going on around here? Let's just have a quick look. We have a pile of banded agates. That area still has plenty of magnetite we can mine, because that lot is probably going to join up, and that will give us a nice open space that we can put more bedrooms in if need be. Once like some of the stuff from the new some of our newly arrived armour has come in, we can have a look at how these guys are doing. They've all got stuff assigned. They mostly haven't, so we're still going to need more weapons and armour. Right, well, we'll worry about that next time. So yes, how are we? We need to make some more, need to brew some more drink. We are still mostly moderately happy. Ooh. We have someone who is seriously injured. What happened to you? You do seem to have a mangled hip. You need more diagnosis, but you have actually had a bunch of treatment already, it looks like. Okay, that looks like things are going all right then. You are getting gradually patched up. Though you still seem to have a shortage of soap, given you weren't apparently cleaned with soap. Slow to heal, so it's going to take a little while, but you are at least in the hospital where you need to be, and I'm sure you will get better in due course. Right, I think that is time to wind up for the night. Maybe I should leave this looking at a different part of the fortress this time, like the outside. I mention this because when I start each session, I put a screenshot on Mastodon, and like maybe it should be a different screenshot occasionally. Just waiting for a wave to roll ashore to look particularly picturesque. Right, there we go. Right, so let us save, and we will stop for tonight and see you all probably on Friday. Until then, good night.